Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
I keep beating up Shia LaBeouf's character from Transformers, and he keeps not giving me his lunch money.
What? I'm gonna go kick his butt. It's gonna be fat times for us.
So in the late 60s, early 70s, we got this brand new genre of film. It was called Exploitation. But here's the thing about Exploitation. It was less a genre of film and more a genre of advertising. It was more about telling people that your film was the most violent, sexual, crazy thing they'd ever seen. And more often than not, those claims were not true. Sure, you got movies like Pink Flamingos or Snuff that were pretty gross, but mostly you got movies like Satan's Sadist that claim to be the most violent film of the decade. This film came out in 1969, July 1969, the same month as Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch. This was not the most violent movie of the decade. This was not even the most violent movie the month it was released. Years later, directors like Robert Rodriguez and Rob Zombie and the like would sort of bring the genre back, but this time in a more idealized version. They started making the films that the old exploitation advertisements promised. So there's sort of a disconnect between real exploitation and throwback exploitation. Like, here's a real exploitation film.
Marines, huh? Oh, I understand those Marines give you some real rough training.
Oh, yes, sir. Surprised me everything we had to learn just to be a GI cop.
And here's a throwback exploitation film.
Open that door, will you, baby?
Real exploitation.
All right. Now, why'd you run?
Why'd I run?
Uh-huh.
I run because I gave him a word I'd run.
You gave what word?
I promised to run.
Yeah, you promised who? What?
This guy gave me $5 change Dad's with him. Told him if anybody come after me, just keep on running.
Throwback exploitation. And in the midst of this resurgence of exploitation, we got one great movie. Drive Angry.
There were some movies, terrible movies, movies so awful, no one would touch. Then came a Matthew, sad little Matthew. Matthew decided these movies to watch. For every good movie, there's at least 10 bad. Matthew gonna drag himself through the crap to find the worst ones there are to be had.
Today's episode, Drive Angry. Hello, Internet. I am a vampire, and it took me nearly 3 years and 75 episodes, but I'm finally going to talk about a Nick Cage movie. Nicholas Coppola, who later changed his name to Nicolas Cage, is an American actor who's become quite the meme for his over-the-top performances. Here's the thing, Nick Cage is a good actor. He's given great performances in films like Leaving Las Vegas, Raising Arizona, and basically my favorite movie ever, Adaptation. He's also a really goofy over-the-top actor when he needs to be, in films like Vampire's Kiss and Wild at Heart, and in nearly any movie where he isn't given great direction. And it's this insane energy that likely scored him a role in the exploitation throwback movie, Drive Angry. Along with Cage, the film stars Amber Heard, who, let's be real, she's hot, but she's not, like, a good actress. It also features William Fichtner, an actor who I kinda like, and Charlie from Twilight. Also a lot of noteworthy actors and actresses. This is why I don't review mainstream movies, too many people to talk about. I'll skip ahead to the writers and directors. The film was directed and co-written by Patrick Lussier, the director behind My Bloody Valentine 3D and Dracula 2000. I can't judge, I haven't seen either film. He was also a writer on the first Scream and Terminator Genesis. The other writer is Todd Farmer, who worked with Lucier on My Bloody Valentine and also wrote Jason X. So let's get happy with Drive Angry.
Since the birth of time, humanity has endeavored to restrain evil men in prisons.
Like a cage. I deserve that. The movie opens with Nick Cage just driving out of hell. And yeah, the CG's not great, and William Fichtner's narration adds absolutely nothing, but fuck you, Nick Cage just drove out of hell. We get to the real opening with some rednecks in a truck trying to escape Cage. Easier said than done. Yeah. Did I mention this film was originally released in 3D? To be fair to the movie, they filmed it in genuine 3D at a time when post-converting was the hip new thing. Unfortunately, I can't watch that version until someone puts this back in theaters. He shoots 2 of the guys and gets out of the 3rd guy that his granddaughter is going to Stillwater, Texas. Except, Stillwater's in Oklahoma. I had a friend who went to school there. Oh, also a car explodes and Nicolas Cage walks away without looking at it. We're like 4 minutes into this movie. Jesus fuck, so many movies I review are so slow. Thank God for something with a little life in it. Oh no, wait. God's not really the one I should thank for this. Then we meet Amber Heard's character Piper, a waitress at a small-town diner.
She's a brick house breakfast, 10 monster flatbreads for $4.99.
Whoa, $4.99 for 10 pancakes? That's a great deal. Badass, Matt. How'd you get here? Well, I'm not really here, but this movie is so badass that whenever someone watches it, I'm there in spirit. Oh. Just Drive Angry? Well, not just this movie, also Commando, Roadhouse, and for some reason, The Last Unicorn? It's a good movie. Hey, how are you watching this movie and driving? Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? Rude.
But it ain't in Texas. Stillwater is in Louisiana.
Nah, you changed it and you still got it wrong. Look, it's here. It's where Oklahoma State University and absolutely nothing else is.
Now that's a hell of a ride out there. Is that yours?
Because when you escape from hell, you have to drive a cool car no matter what. Dude, you're driving an SUV. Fuck you, dude. This car is great. Spacious interior, but it's still small. It's a great car, and I got it at a great price. Nice, nice. What kind of mileage does it get? Oh, yeah, somewhere in the 26... Dude, I don't fucking care. Nick Cage is making out with the waitress. God, this movie is too cool for me. Look, Nick Cage just walks out of the forest. How'd he get there? Can he teleport? If he can teleport, why is he even driving? Because he's angry. Oh, good point. Then William Fichtner, a demon sent to return Cage to hell, shows up.
What'd you call me? What did you just call me?
I called you fat fuck, and we had better leave it at that. Unless you prefer I call you dead fat fuck.
What the fuck was that line delivery? Oh, and of course he doesn't have a name, just a job. He's the accountant. Yeah, most jails send their accountant to catch escapees. That's what an accountant does.
Is he a good man?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Spoilers, he's not. Oh no, he's cheating. And also he looks like the guy from every porn video. Well, every straight porn video.
I'm gonna tell everybody what I caught you doing with my pink dildo.
I stand corrected. And Cage pulls out his God-Killer gun just to establish that it exists and no other reason. Guess that's one cliche we can check off. Then we see a violent, bloody flashback that makes no sense until Cage explains it later. Oh yeah, and Cage's character is named John Milton. You know, like the poet.
Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're driving through Oklahoma to go to Louisiana from Texas? Did the writers of this film ever look at a map? Are you getting pedantic about the geography of a movie where Nick Cage shoots demons? It's what I do, okay? I consider this fun.
So they pull up to a sleazy motel/bar.
I suppose there's overlap in those customers.
And is that Kyle Gass from Tenacious D? We all know he can defeat Satan.
No one ever reaches the end and says, I wish I hadn't fucked so much.
See, John Milton never wrote anything that beautiful.
The accountant shows up at the boyfriend's house and kills him trying to get information.
Whoa, 3D! I don't have a 3D TV, and that's really the only way you can watch this in 3D anymore. Also, you're not supposed to wear these glasses while you're driving, but, you probably shouldn't be filming a YouTube video while you're driving.
Luckily, he can make himself a Fed. Though, they don't question why his name is just The Accountant. Seems like a tip-off he might not be legit. He convinces these cops to help him track down John. Charlie shows up as a cult leader hunting down Milton. Although it seems like Milton is also hunting them down? Also, Milton was dead. How did they find out he was alive again? Oh well, Nicolas Cage shoots bad guys in slow motion while having sex, drinking whiskey, and smoking a stogie.
Drive Angry is better than your favorite movie.
Yep, that's how guns work. 10 out of 10 physics.
Shut up, it's awesome. It is pretty awesome.
Cage and Piper get out of there, but not before killing those two cops.
They took her little girl.
Little girl on the news? The little baby everyone's looking for?
Yes. They killed my daughter and took her baby.
Wait, what was that? Like 5 lines of exposition and we're back to the action? This movie knows what's up. Milton shoots the bookkeeper with his god killer gun and we get some crazy car physics. And they find the church the cults are hiding out in. What a lucky break. But their luck ends as everyone pulls their guns on Milton and Piper, and we get an exchange between Charlie and Milton.
Look around you. World is on fire.
How about yours? That's the way I like it and I'll never get bored.
You forced my daughter on her knees, and she made you pay for it. Isn't that right, Leather Jacket? You were there. Dickless made you swear not to tell anyone.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Jeez, Milton, how you gonna get out of this one? Shoot someone with finger guns?
See, the joke here is I've already seen this movie, so I know that's what happens. So I can play it up like, haha, what if this thing happens? And then, you know, there's no reason for that. It never gets explained. Sure hope I don't have that power. I do finger guns a lot.
I mean, he does shoot Cage in the face and he survives, so he's kinda immortal. Oh, and they kidnap Piper. In an RV.
The most satanic transportation. I guess that kind of makes this film like the reverse of Race with the Devil. In that film, Satanists chase some normal people in an RV, and in this one, he's chasing Satanists in an RV. But of course, pretty sure I'm the only person that's seen that movie, so that might not be the best comparison.
Anyway, chase scene.
I am going to kill you, and then I'm going to defile your code.
Between now and then, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh, Piper.
Fucking idiot, you deserve that for putting down the gun. And of course some cool shit like this happens. Hell yeah. Piper jumps from a moving vehicle and Milton calls up an old friend. Unfortunately, Piper puts the pieces together and realizes Milton is dead and escaped from hell.
Which I think could work as a reveal, but they already kind of spoiled that one with the opening scene.
He broke out of hell.
It really seems like that was an afterthought and the script was written with this being the big reveal. It'd work much better without the opening.
Here Cage grows his eye back. A very cool, gross effect. Good work.
There isn't the worst part. It's the video feed. It's not about your suffering, your burning. It's about the suffering of those you love, because that's all you see.
Joke's on hell, no one would suffer if I died.
Thank you, Webster. I don't believe I'll be having that beer just now. Not unless I'm drinking it from Jonah King's skull.
And lucky for Cage, his friend has 2 cool cars. Sure would suck if they had to drive a minivan. Too bad Charlie tipped them off to the police.
Gentlemen, these 2 have killed 2 of our own. I know you want to make the pay. Therefore, when I tell you to aim for their tars, what I mean is, aim for their heads.
ACAB. Sorry, something in my throat.
Well, Milton and Piper are trapped. Looks like the end for them. Just kidding, the auditor shows up in an oil tanker to destroy the cop cars.
Satanus? Ex Machina?
Also, cars that get hit by an oil tanker just explode, right?
Sit down.
I have absolutely no problem with that.
They get to a satanic sacrifice, but the adjudicator holds Piper as a hostage.
You went on a little secret. The Dark Lord, Satan, Beelzebub, Lucifer. Simply the warden of a very large prison. Quiet man, actually. Thoughtful, and he's well read.
Well, he was. And then I shot him, and now his dumbass son is in charge.
Are you suggesting this work of fiction is somehow canonical to our world?
Not necessarily, but my world always seems to work on the same internal logic as the films I'm reviewing. It's a really weird trend.
He also explains anything killed by the God Killer gun ceases to exist. No heaven, no hell.
Which seems like a lighter punishment than hell.
Honestly, though, his motives are ill-defined. He wants Cage to kill all the Satanists to save the baby, something he was already planning on doing without threatening Piper. He also refuses to help Cage, so does he want him to win or not?
See, this is just poor writing on the part of—
Dude, who cares? Nick Cage drives a car through a flaming pentagram. Yep, it's the big climactic action scene. People get shot, Piper escapes with the God Killer, Charlie kicks over a bunch of ammo and shoots it, causing the coolest explosion in this movie, and Piper shoots this random goon who I guess deserved to be removed from existence. It also seems to have a much more dramatic effect on Charlie, leaving only the cap of his skull. So, you know.
Skull, my friend.
Hey Piper, I know you lost your job, your boyfriend, your car, you're implicated in the murders of 2 cops, and you're 3 states from home. But have a fucking baby. And then Milton goes back to hell.
And I get back home. So that was Drive Angry. I love it.
Is this a bad movie? I would argue no. I wouldn't argue it's particularly good either, but there's one thing it definitely is, and that's entertaining. It's so much fun. Yeah, there are some issues with plotting, the CG isn't great, Amber Heard is a walking, talking bad girl cliche, and the film is just kinda stupid, but fuck all that. It's entertaining. My one and only gripe with this movie is that it's a little limp in some places. Could use a more enthusiastic director to punch it up a bit. Someone like Neville Dean and Taylor, the team behind the Crank movies, could really kick this up a notch. Unfortunately, this same year, Neville Dean and Taylor were making the much lesser version of this movie, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Weird that 2 Nicolas Cage movies about him driving fast and killing Satanists would come out in the same year. And the trilogy would be completed with last year's Mandy, which is objectively the best of the 3. I'd definitely recommend Drive Angry though. It's silly, fast-paced, and a ton of fun. And it helped me get out of hell, so gotta love that. I can't go back to where I was. Not after that. It's time to move forward. And by forward, I mean back in with my parents.
Well, this is unexpected.
I totally punked him, huh? Oh, Matt escaped, didn't he? Oh well, that guy's not living to 25 anyways.
I'm so fucking sweaty. I'm like 3 lines into this. And I'm sweating up a storm because I am just in my garage. I can't even put my foot on the brake because then my brake light lights up and you can see I'm in the garage.